Oh, hello, hello, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these amazing people have agreed to join me today to play a game, and that makes me happy. Sorry, slightly distracted, making sure everything's set up. All right, we're good. These amazing people that make me so happy are, in no particular order, but because you moved, playing Phoebe for us tonight. Rose, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Hey, I'm a person and I do things, and they're gonna tell you about other games, and I'm not gonna do that because I'm so cool and hip.
A subtle hint that I need to get you in at least one more game. Thank you. Moving along to somebody who's in many games, Bison underscore Stonefist.
Hello, that's
Leave
me.
leave at least one for Ruth.
Okay, that doesn't help because all the games I'm in are the ones that she's in.
I know, that's what I mean. You have to leave
Yeah, I
one of
know.
them. So yeah.
We
So
can just say who we are in those games.
yeah, um, I play Gazbag on Tuesdays. I play Garrett Sakes on Thursdays. And the other character that I can't say I have a favorite. All of my characters that I'm playing right now, they're just special little beans for me. But on Sundays I play Gav, and he's got the most going on.
Is he married yet?
Betrothed.
Okay.
We're,
Wow.
we're trying to we're trying to get the marriage in before the twins come out, but there's a lot going on.
Okay. And yes, folks, that's an RPG game and not somebody's real life. The detail in that game is stunning. Anyway, let's move on to your chew. So I'll leave you alone for a second. Spock, tell us about yourself. Where can we
What's
find
up,
you?
everybody?
I stream here on Twitch Wednesdays and Saturdays very irregularly. Don't trust that schedule at all. Uh, of course, here's my links, but I am sadly not in any other games because time zones are awful.
Yes, yes, and that's why I was so happy to be able to get you into this one. So thank you for joining us. And that brings us around to no surprise because they're the only one left with us today, Ruth.
Damn it.
I tried. I gave you as much time as
No,
I could.
it's okay. It was my fault for taking another bite. Hi, I'm Ruth. You found me. I don't have my notes. I am here today, Monday, as Xenon Alcides, Cleric of Nyx. Super fun, super cool. If you want to know more about him, watch.
Yeah.
This upcoming Tuesday, you can find me as Ish in our Rise of the Temple game. I'm super excited for her. Alternate Wednesdays when I believe we are back from hiatus this week.
I think so. Yeah.
So you can find us this week in our Oracle Force game. Did I say who I played?
Not yet.
No.
Trek. And that's Wednesday. Thursday, I'm here as Nora Avalon in our City Mist game. Eventually, on a Friday near us, I will be in Everyday Divinity. Have not made my character yet. I'm gonna be so real.
I think the plan is to do that at our session 0 this upcoming week. So.
And Sunday as Runa Ingoldsdottir in our Shadow of the Walkturn game.
Yes.
That's a lot of games.
It's a lot of games. And that brings me around to me, who isn't in anywhere near that many. I'm running these 2 games on Monday. Same basic plot, same handful of papers anyway. Running 2 different groups through it and getting 2 very different results. And that's been a lot of fun. And then on Wednesdays, every second Wednesday that isn't Oracle Force is The Humbled Heart, which is a D&D campaign run for us by the mighty and wondrous Hellhounds 20. in which, gosh darn it, I am a bard. What a shot. And then tune in, as hinted at by Ruth, on upcoming Fridays, not this week, but fairly soon. The Everyday Divinity campaign will be beginning, and in that one, I will be playing a street free runner who's pretty sure he's connected to a god. And that's all the details you get on that for right now. Because right now, it is time to do this game, because we're already 10 minutes in and we haven't even started yet. And we still haven't started because we have to start with a recap. We alternate this each week. One of our players gets to do the recap in character. And this week, funnily enough, for various reasons which will become evident in a few moments' time, let's have Bofidis Caridia tell us what happened, in his own words, the last time we met.
We were finally on the way to taking care of Vice, this disgusting crime lord who had been plaguing our city for a whole week, but it seemed like a month. On our way there, we come across a district where I was certain we were having an impromptu service to Dionysus. There was nakedness, a lot of nakedness, which is not the problem, but the lack of revelry was concerning. People were giving away their clothes and giving away their coin, all because a man talked to them and told them it was a good idea. I mean, given enough wine, taking off your toga is not really a bad thing, but it was not the time or place. We determined it must have been madness, one of the other wayward cousins of our friend Hope. Unfortunately, madness was headed in one direction and vice was in the other. So we were determined to complete our course, finally, and take on the Mad Bull himself. I will admit that their attempt at charity was quite advantageous for the region, but it came with a price, and that's not how charity works. So we confronted him, and then I died. Last thing I remember was a long time ago, leaving the gates of Sparta. Return with your shield, or on it. Ta-da!
And then, just to wrap it up for for the bits that Bofidis wasn't necessarily there for, upon taking out Vice, Hope was much pleased and presented you with gifts from Uncle Festus. These were presented to you in the form of gift boxes that looked a lot like the Pythos, just not quite so fancy, in various shapes and sizes, depending on what it was that you got. You were also given a godly boost, and that shoved you up a level, mechanically speaking, so you've all leveled up. So we're now at level 4. And, hooray! Slightly more hit points, slightly less chance of dying. But, before we move on, where were we? Are we doing this on the roof, or did you guys go back to?
We closed out, literally still on the roof.
Still on the roof. Perfect. Okay. In that case, perfect. As Hope
Charity's
gives
a vice.
Forgot
about that.
So charity is a vice. Yes. But so with Hope doing her little ceremony on the roof. Just before we get to opening the presents, as it were, you hear a sort of giggling from downstairs. And if any of you look over the edge, you see, rumor has it, with a big puffy jacket on. It's all empty pockets. Like the whole thing is just pockets on top of pockets on top of pockets. And he's heading in through a window downstairs, and you just hear, and you just start hearing smashing and crashing and laughing, and he's having
he has to come out the door because he can't get through the window.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's having a full-blown pillage downstairs. Because just as a reminder, when you took out Vice, all of his minions disappeared. They were all just projections of him, so they're all gone now. So downstairs, and yes, Helvas has stolen pure silverware in case she has to have monies, which brings us briefly to Helvas. There is one more thing we have to do before we open the gifts, because Helvas bends down, grabs their gift, and then disappears again.
Rats.
Hundreds of years later, thousands of years later, it's 1969 in a field in New Jersey, I think it is. There's 500,000 stoned people rolling around in the mud. There's 4 toilets and a gigantic stage up at the front. And we leave Helvas standing in Woodstock just at the first notes of Jimi Hendrix's version of the U.S. national anthem. Twist through the sky.
Dude, I'm so jealous.
And now we'll cut back to you guys.
I
So
can
let's
smell the cannabis from here. Oh, wait.
the really bad cannabis, for 1969.
Ditchweed.
Yeah. Anyway, spoiled 21st century bastard. Yes, that's me. Thank you. Mine actually has a percentage. But these gifts, these boxes in front of you, each of them, mechanically speaking, an uncommon or rare magical item. Let's start with Orthos. Before you tell me what's in the box, I want you to tell me how big the box is.
I mean, the box is honestly not that big. It's maybe like a foot diameter or foot side length cube. But when Orthos opens it, something comes out that logically should not fit in there. But because magic exists,
Yep.
we don't care.
Well, it's also canon that as you take the item out of the box disappears. So,
Yeah.
So what is it that you draw forth from this box?
It is a very dark set of armor, like black, with red and white highlights. It is the plate armor of the fallen.
Spectacular. So you start donning that on the roof of the restaurant. Phoebe, what does the box in front of you look like?
So I'm gonna say the box is just like a little jewelry box.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
It's like one of those little teeny tiny boxes.
Yep.
And inside this box is a little bracelet with some useless charms or whatever, but it all focuses on this intricate little bottle that calls for her blood.
Oh.
As she got a blood well vial. So she's gonna put some blood in there.
Absolutely, and do the prep. Well, if they require attunement, well, this is where you're going to attune to them. It only takes a moment because it's magic. Xenon. Size and shape of the presentation box, please.
It is like one of those boxes, the like long but like not very wide.
Mm-hmm.
It like has that like foam that like some jewelry is packaged in with like the ribbon on top.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And laying on top of it is a gem of seeing.
Oh, okay. And as you take it out, the panty box disappears into a cloud of ruby-colored dust and fades
I was gonna do the
away.
helm of teleportation, but I thought he'd look stupid wearing that helmet.
Cool magic item, but my hair.
That was actually my thought.
Oh yeah, it's hard to stand heroically in the sun when they can't see your eyes because the helmet's too big. But that brings us around to Bophides.
Bophides, after Xenon's healing magic, brings him back from death. He sort of shakes himself awake, and he looks over to his shield, which, for canonicity reasons, was destroyed when Vice gored him.
Yep, that makes sense.
And he looks at the gift, and it's long, like wide and flat. And he unwraps it, and it is a bronze shield, like a hoplon, that has the Hound of Argos emblazed on
Oh, wow, okay.
On the front of it, and it's a shield +2.
Nice. All right. So with that, and as you all sort of adjust straps and bleed into containers and put on armor and all those good things, in the far distance in Woodstock, Halvass opens a box, and I think I know what's in there, but I'm not going to say. So, but it would be a very interesting thing to have at Woodstock. Let's just put it that way.
Hey man, what you got there?
What's that, dude?
All right. So, with that, we come back to sort of the moment. You could still hear Rumor downstairs going through room after room, and at this point, he's throwing most stuff away. It's like, that's nice, but I got more. He's got better than this. He's got better than, oh, that's nice. And by the time you guys sort of finish getting your stuff together, he's coming out the main door like the Michelin Man. He's just like, oh, he's got to turn sideways and kind of wiggle through the double doors. And he's just looking at everybody going, hi, how you doing? And there's like silverware sticking out and candlesticks sticking out and coins falling out of his pockets. And he's just like, yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay. It's all nice. Bye. And he just waddles off down the street. Nobody dares bother him, even though he's just covered in wealth. They all know him too well. And especially any of them that saw the knife dance where he embarrassed all the Minotaurs. Nobody's messing with Rumor.
It's like, you go to bother him, he's only going to take your wallet as well.
Yes.
So the only thing that is going to happen is somehow you will end up without any coin.
Yes. So, you're on the top of the restaurant. Below you, weirdly, the second floor where you guys crept up through, that's basically empty. That's what Rumor has been pillaging from. But the main floor downstairs, because nobody knows any better other than the bulls disappeared, the kitchen is still operating, the restaurant is still operating, and at the moment at least, the healers are still healing and they're handing out free food. That is all still happening. You don't know if that'll continue to happen, but it is currently happening. So, what's the plan?
I think the one thing, before we decide on what to do, I think the one thing Bophades does is he tries to inquire on who is the former owner of this establishment, and try to get word that you can have your place back.
So you go downstairs and talk to the staff?
Yeah.
Okay. The maitre d', for lack of a better word, because there wouldn't have been French then, but that's what word I'm going to use anyway, of the restaurant says to you, he ceased to be, and he makes a religious sign upon himself. And he looks upstairs, and he looks at your freshly healed wounds. The new gentleman rather killed him, sir.
Did he leave any next of kin? A son, perhaps?
His son is far away and he names a city that's far, far away. And unfortunately, his wife has passed. It is, his family is no more.
A pity. The more recent owner is no more. And I felt it would have been honorable to send it along to someone who rightly deserved it.
Well, if I don't say so myself, sir, I have been working here for 10 years now. I know this place inside out. I know the staff. I know the work. And I must say, and he kind of looks over your shoulder, I thoroughly approve of the new addition in the foyer, sir.
As the gods will it. And I don't see anyone complaining.
No, the staff is just going on like
Yeah.
they're like nothing's happened except they're relaxed, right? They're just having fun at work again. So yeah, you basically. Essentially, you've given them the restaurant, right? This is ancient
Yeah.
Greece. There's no lease. There's no,
It's honestly
I'm running it. It's mine. Yeah.
spoils of war.
Yeah. Yep.
We just fought this guy. We won. We're the conquerors.
Yeah.
It's ours to do as we see fit.
Fair. Okay. Yep. Fair enough. So,
Just run with that.
yes. Well, while you're
Excuse
doing
me,
that,
I'm Spartan.
yes. While you're doing that, the other three of you are sort of looking around the street. The Minotaurs are all gone. There is that sort of feeling of relaxation, and in the distance, the clanking of a tiny goblin thief. Clank, 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 clank. As he walks around a corner 3 blocks down, you can still hear stuff banging against his ribs. So, what do you do?
I think actually Orthos would also be talking to the new owner of the place and would like to make him an offer.
Okay.
Since Orthos also has a store, well, he is a blacksmith after all.
Yeah.
And while it isn't big, he would still tell him if you ever need help, just send a message to, and then says the name of the shop, because
Yeah.
I have not thought.
Yep. Yeah. So you offer your assistance to him in the moving forward.
Yeah.
Do we get a rest or something? I had to go. You will, before anything else happens. I just want to do this. I'm just going to get you guys. I presume you're going back after this. I presume you're going back to. Xenon, you said before we started you were going to take both of these to Nyx's temple? Or both of these, would you go to Nyx's or would you go to Hephaestus's temple?
Because I only said that because last time he was like,
He
you passed
I was
out.
still unconscious.
He
I was
actually
still
passed out at the
technically
end,
unconscious.
yeah. Right, okay, so you guys do have rooms at the Temple of Hephaestus. So
Okay.
is that the long-term goal, is to get back there? Because you guys do need a rest, right? You've casted
Yeah.
spells and been
Yeah.
killed and,
so
all that
then
good stuff.
we
So,
should
yeah.
head back there.
Okay. So,
Get both to bed.
yes, yeah. Get both of his nuts to bed.
Yeah.
All right. So, after the conversation, and you see that the restaurant is going to be, it's in good hands. This is going to be superb. And in fact, as you leave, they're pulling down the sign. They're going to rename it.
Woo!
And
Beef's on the menu, boys.
Minotaur steaks. Yes, we do eat them. We are countables. But I would like.
No actual minotaurs were hurt during the making of these steaks. It's just funnier this way.
They're fictional. We're allowed to do stuff to them. Anyway, I would like, please, a perception roll from each of you. And
Yeah,
if you roll less than your regular or than your passive perception, let me know that instead.
Oh shit. My passive perception went up. That's because my wisdom went up.
Yep.
So that makes sense,
Mhm.
actually.
My passive perception is higher
Yep.
at a
15.
10.
A 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 bros. Bam.
Yeah.
So yeah, 14.
14. Okay. So
I rolled a 15. My passive perception is 17.
okay. So everybody but Orthos sees this. That makes sense. You said you're still chatting with the maitre d' owner now, right? So just before you turn around, the other three of you turn to leave, and you see at one of the public fountains, there's a man sitting on the edge of the fountain with his feet in the water, crying unconsolably, just weeping.
Anybody got calm emotions?
Yeah, but we can all. Not everything needs magic.
That is true.
Not every solution is a magical one. I think Phoebe's gonna go up to him. Phoebe's been feeling a lot of emotions recently.
Mm-hmm. So as you walk up to him, he's like I said, there's no physical signs of injury. He doesn't appear to be, You know, he's not old, he's not decrepit, there's no obvious reasons for him to be in pain, and he doesn't seem to be in pain. He just seems to be really, really sad. And when you walk up, he turns to look at you, and I mean, it's just like tears running down his cheeks. What do you say?
Xenon's gonna follow just in case.
Yeah.
Well, like not in case something bad happens, but
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna blast him. No.
so anyway, I just started blasting.
Phoebe's just gonna say, "Hey, what's going on? What's wrong?"
I am a terrible duck.
Well, yes.
But how can I be a good person if I can't even be a duck?
Because you're not a duck.
Most people aren't ducks. In fact, all people aren't ducks.
And that's okay.
And you see
No
that
offense to Howard.
you see that glazed look in their eyes that
Oh,
you
we got
saw
a
on the
crazy
other
one.
people. Yeah. Madness has had a word with this guy and convinced him that he needs to be a very good duck, and he's not being a very good duck, so he's very sad. It's not technically magic. It's more like just really convincing conversation. But this guy is absolutely distraught. Even with you talking to him, he is absolutely distraught about being a bad duck. And he keeps like trying to paddle his feet in the water. I don't even have webbed toes.
Could I roll, like, while Phoebe and him are talking, can I roll perception or investigation or something to
Yeah.
see if Madness is anywhere nearby?
Okay, give me, that would be more of an investigation because you're actively looking. Perception is like if you see stuff that's going on.
Okay,
I thought
Investigation's
so.
if you're
I
actively
would just
looking.
really love for it to be perception.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what this role would be, but I would like to basically refer this man to the featherless biped definition of a man.
Yeah. Uh,
19.
okay. All right. So, looking for madness. All right. So you're looking for madness. You roll a 19. You're going to see something. Both of these, my notes I just wrote, goes all philosophical. Phoebe, what are you doing?
I'm just really trying my best to convince him that he's not a duck and
Okay.
he shouldn't worry about being a good duck.
All right.
So I guess you consider mine to be a help action for Phoebe.
Okay. And Orthos? You turn around from talking to the owner and you see a man sitting on the side of the fountain crying with your whole party gathered around him.
Somewhat confusedly.
Talking and yeah.
No,
I mean,
not duck.
if if everyone else is there, it's probably something important. So Orthos joins them as well.
Okay. Heads over. So just as you get there, Xenon, you're like looking around for madness. It occurs to you, you don't know what madness looks like. And there's people everywhere. But what you
I
do...
thought it was described to us.
Oh, you actually, yeah, old long hair. So yeah, okay. You're right. I realized as I said it, I wasn't sure which group I described it to, but I think it was both. But you don't see them. But you see a lady about half a block up pulling on something. Basically, it is big. Yeah, me with a longer beard. But she's pulling on something that you can't see. And she's saying, come on now. Come on now. No, come on now.
He's not trying to go too far from the group, but he's trying to get a bit closer so he can see.
Okay. You can see that there's nothing to see. This woman is pulling on something, and as you get a little closer, you hear, come on, Fifi. No, don't poop on the flowers, Fifi. No. And she's pulling with both hands as hard as she can on nothing. You can see, like, there's no rope, there's no dog.
I love miming.
And that's what you see. So clearly madness went that way, but
Mhm.
they're not currently visible. Phoebe,
Tourette's.
we're gonna do this with advantage because both of these is helping you. Trying to convince them. What would this be?
Persuasion?
Yeah, give me a persuasion roll with advantage. So roll twice.
Guidance.
A 9 and a 10. And guidance. Okay, give me a roll. Give me a 1d4 on top of that.
1d4.
10 plus 1, 11. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
You make some progress. He now knows what kind of duck he is.
Oh.
He's a very bad mallard because 11 just isn't enough to convince. Compared to talking to pure madness, they were unconvinced. So it's actually gotten slightly worse. He is now convinced that he is a very poor mallard. His head isn't green enough, besides the fact that he can't swim or fly. His head's not green enough. He's never going to get a date. He still can't swim. His feet still aren't webbed. He's a lost cause at this point to you.
Phoebe is just like, what if I pushed him in the well?
No, it's a fountain.
A fountain, yeah.
What if I pushed him in the fountain?
Do you push him in the fountain?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
push him in the fountain.
You finally just poof. He hits the water and comes up, flapping his arms and flapping his feet, and then he falls forward onto his face and he gets a great big mouthful of water. And he comes up and he starts coughing, and he's like coughing so hard his eyes are like, he's all covered in water, but you can see his eyes are running and his nose is running. And he stands up because the fountain's only this deep, and he stands up and leans over and puts his hands on his legs to cough. And by the time he finishes coughing, it's like he's coughed out the craziness because he stands all the way back up, full height, and shakes his head and just looks at you as, what am I doing in the fountain?
You tripped.
Yes.
Let me help you out.
And you get him out, and yeah, he wanders away from you like he doesn't remember what just happened. And his toga's just dripping on the ground. His sandals are flopping on his feet. And
But get the other girl in the fountain too.
Yeah.
Cognitive realignment.
We've discovered the solution. Sploosh. Waterboarding. So as you get that sorted out, Xenon, you're the only one that has so far seen the lady with the apparently invisible dog.
I feel like by the time he goes a bit closer, comes back, they're probably done
Yep.
resolving that.
Yep.
So I think I know which way madness went.
Do we want to sleep or do we want to hunt madness?
If we're going after madness, we should carry a few buckets of water with us.
I think we should rest first. Bo did take a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
My spell slots do not
sort
feel
of-
fine.
He's like
What are spell slots?
Yeah.
he sort of like rubbing the massive hole where
Yeah.
like
And
the
it's
scars like
slowly
feel-
stitching itself shut in front of you. Yeah.
Mhm.
it's
With
very I'm
moonlight.
very itchy. I will admit that.
All
I'm
right.
feeling very weak. My head hurts a little bit.
Yep.
I feel disconnected from things.
Yep.
Yeah, so
What things?
That's a conversation for later.
Right, but we will have that conversation later.
Oracle is upgraded. Yeah.
Mhm.
Please upgrade to Oracle 2.0. And while I've got you, I'd like to talk to you about your insurance. Oracle insurance, in case you get it wrong.
I'm Cassandra. I'll be your agent.
Oh no.
Believe me, please.
There are people trying to sell me warranties in my head. It's really weird.
It's time. Yeah, I need a nap. So,
Talking to me about my refund policy.
mhm. So as you, in that the wave of advertising and marketing that overtakes you when you are tired, you make your way back to the Temple of Hephaestus. The last thing you hear from down the street is the lady in question looking at another person and saying, "I'm not sure if I've got an imaginary dog or not."
Mhm.
And then you walk away.
Yes.
Orthos is actually not gonna head straight to the Temple of
Okay.
Hephaestus.
Hmm.
He's gonna make a detour to the Temple of Nemesis.
Ooh,
Okay.
so the party. So the party.
All right. Yeah. I think I know what's going to happen here. So the rest of you head back and get a long rest. Go ahead and smack your long rest button. Orthos, what are you doing?
So, I mean, technically speaking, it was just this morning that we met Nemesis.
Yep.
But like he would like to communicate to Nemesis in form of prayer that, hey, we defeated Apothe's shit, I'm forgetting the word right now.
The evil.
Accomplice, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
accom
Yeah.
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 We've de we managed to defeat Apothe's accomplice, and they're gone now. The people should have a bit of a better life.
Okay. And more like a normal godlike experience, you don't get a direct link. Like Nemesis doesn't, respond to your text, so to speak. But one of the priests who overhears you comes over and puts their hand on your shoulder while you're praying and waits till you're done, and then says, "I saw what you did today, and we appreciate what you and the others did for us."
Of course, we can't just let a temple be ruined like this, after all.
And they sort of pat you on the shoulder.
Mhm.
Thank you for coming back. Um, Above table question: did you, when you leveled up, did you multi-class?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what was that? What was that new class that you chose?
I have taken one level in Paladin.
Okay, so that involves a god. Have you
Mhm.
had a thought of which god?
I mean, I think it should be quite obvious, but
Mm-hmm.
Nemesis.
Okay. It wasn't completely obvious because being an artificer, the other option would have been Hephaestus.
Yeah.
But okay. So Paladin of Nemesis, and the reason I mentioned that is because of Nemesis' job, so to speak.
Yeah.
They punish hubris, they reward those that are not hubristic, and they are very much a god of the night. Nemesis is very much a god of darkness. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you gonna feel at home in the dark too?
Not 300 feet of dark vision kind of home until you show up.
Yeah.
But all right, and
Zenon's
then
very generous with his dark vision.
yes, everybody can see what's going on down that alley. Oh no. And with that, Orthos, do you then head back to your rooms at the Temple of Hephaestus?
Yeah.
Okay. As you do, as you come out of Nemesis Temple and walk down the street, you see a group of children playing on the road, which is not abnormal at all. And one of them, as you're walking by, puts his hands like this, hanging off of his chin, and he starts walking around looking at the other ones with his hand like this, going blah 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 blah, and they all have a big laugh like it's an inside joke.
Mhm.
What's your response to that?
I mean, he of course immediately thinks of Madness, who is the
Mm-hmm.
only person with a giant beard that he knows of.
Yep.
Uh, and he kind of approaches the children. Hey, hey, kids.
Wow, you're big.
Yeah, remember, if you eat well and exercise, you too can become as big as me.
But I'm an urchin. I'm lucky if I get to eat every 2 or 3 days. Am I going to be little forever?
there's this restaurant nearby. If you go there, they will give you food. It's
I won't have
not
to
a
steal it?
lot. No.
You're crazier than that old man.
Uh, Speaking of an old man, did you perhaps see where he went?
Oh, yeah, he came around and he was like, blah, 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 blah. And none of us were listening. It was really funny. And he got kind of mad. And then when we stopped looking at him, he disappeared.
Oh,
And this is where you
okay.
notice, you look around, like, these
Hmm.
kids are perfectly normal. They're not showing any signs of madness at all.
Hmm.
They didn't listen. They blah, 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 blah. That's all they heard. They didn't listen.
Well,
His magic doesn't work if you don't listen.
that is good to know.
Oh,
Yeah, so after Orthos heads back and reaches the temple, he tells the others that, like, hey, as long as we don't hear him, we will be good.
all right. So, and somebody typed, I just picked up silence. Ha ha ha. Good. But I saw the message. So yeah, if you have to go, Rose, just let us know. Nobody burns to the
It
ground in
scared
my
the hell
games.
out of me,
Yeah.
but I think it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So keep us in the loop. If it goes off again, just get outside. Anyway. So eventually, you all end up back at the Temple of Hephaestus. Fastidiously cleaned Temple of Hephaestus, it must be said, because they've all been waiting for Bophades to return. Because they all know that when he comes back, he's sometimes grumpy. And when he comes back with a hole in him, he's almost always grumpy. So as you arrive back, Bophades, you notice they're all doing the hiding in the shadows thing. Like, they're not hiding from you, they're waiting to see if their help is required.
I think what he does is he goes to one of the older apprentices, one that's actually started to, pick up priestly duties.
Yeah.
And he's like, prepare an offering for Hephaestus. Today's been a good day.
And he looks at you and asks,
You
"What
can
is?"
feel the entire temple exhale.
Yeah, exactly. But you get the question, which it's going to sound a little freaky, but it's you asked. You said an offering. He looks at you and he says, chicken, pig, or ox, sir?" In other words, how big is the celebration? How big is the offering?
We're not quite at ox yet. I think he's going to say pig.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he nods and says, I'll see to it myself, sir. And he turns around and starts that quiet bellow that you can do it in a proper room where you say it's almost a whisper, but I saw it described yesterday on the internet as density, not volume. It's just this sort of, I see.
Authority clench.
Yeah,
The authority clench.
I see dust. And it's like, that's it. All the little minions that were hiding in the shadows start rushing out and cleaning stuff that doesn't need cleaning. This is a good one. He understands how this works. Keep them on their toes. And he heads back to talk to the other priests about setting up they're gonna sacrifice a pig to Hephaestus.
They never sleep. They are always cleaning.
Yes, yep.
Mm-hmm.
They figured out they figured out their schedule around Bophades' schedule. It's like, he's gone to bed. They all just collapse where they are for 7 hours. All right, so.
And they wake up 1 minute before him.
Yeah. Wake up tense.
He's not a tyrant. He's
No.
just...
No. You're just very good at keeping them busy. So, yes, everybody have your long rest and heal all your hit points and look at 13 hit points and recovered all your hit dices and all kinds of good stuff. And it is, as it says there, it's more than just a sleep, right? I mean, you wake up and you have breakfast in a comfortable place, and they bring you your coffee or your tea or whatever it is that you want. Um, Being friends of both of these has got its perks. You guys are getting the good coffee and the china mugs, and not the chipped porcelain shit that the staff has to drink out of. A proper breakfast, fruit, and all kinds of goodies on the table. And then there starts to be a murmuring outside. Something's happened out in the city. There's news because there's no sort of there's no real criers running around yelling out the news here. It just sort of happens. Word of mouth sort of
The
spreads.
gossip circles.
But you can feel that sizzle as bad news travels fast, right? And you can just hear it spreading throughout the city below you.
Bofidis does his usual, information gathering, which is, walking through the market square slowly while eating an apple.
Yeah. Okay. Others? Both of these
I
is
would
going out to have a
say-
look. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Phoebe is usually spending most of her time outside of the temple
Yep.
nowadays, especially.
Yep. That makes sense.
So if she hears murmuring, she's gonna be like, "Hey, kid, what's going on?"
Right. So you're right on the street. Perfect. Xenon, you're halfway through your energy drink. When you hear the murmuring, what do you do? And Orthos as well, because it looks like Xenon's thinking.
Ortho is probably gonna head back to his shop for once because it's been a few days
Okay. Yep.
just to like check up on it, and like on the way he's just kind of gonna listen to the murmuring to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Perfect. And Xenon.
Xenon is kind of taking a similar approach to Bo
Yep.
and just like going for a walk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that before Bo or Xenon gets too far, I'm gonna put telepathic speech on them.
Okay. That makes sense. So the three of you are you walking together, or are you sort of spreading out? Because Orthos is going to his shop. The other three of you are just sort of heading out into the street, right?
I think I'm just sitting
Oh no,
outside the temple.
Phoebe, you were by yourself, so yeah, alone. Okay. So
I think we kind of just sort of fan out just in general.
that makes sense.
Like
So,
we all know that we're like
Yeah.
yeah. So Phoebe,
We'll meet back
because
up.
yeah, Phoebe, because you were on the street from the start, or closest to the street, you're the first one that gets out there, and you hear there's been a murder. The leading man of the local theater, the most famous actor in town, has been found in the street this morning, stabbed dozens of times. They were also apparently robbed.
Ooh, okay. Love.
So, shortly
Sending
after.
information. Sending information.
So, Xenon, you get that message, and just at that time, you and Bofidis get into sort of the center of town, right? You get away from the temples and into the public areas, and you can see groups of people gathered around, muttering amongst themselves, as they do in times of bad news.
Ryzen, do you think Bo and Xenon kind of just end up like walking together, sometimes splitting off if
Just-
they're like two good conversations?
Yeah.
Kind of. I think it's just, I kind of see like priests doing this as just sort of a matter of course because A, they're going to hear all the juicy gossip, and B, if they need to, be priestly, they can
Yeah.
be priestly. And
Yeah.
it's also immediate PR for their temple.
I like that, and it gives me a nice line here. So the two of you, when you're together or whether you're separated, every time you walk near one of these groups, they sort of ask you to come over, and like you said, Bison, they would expect you to be offering the blessings of the gods. That would be sort of, it wouldn't be pushy of them to ask for your blessing. So everywhere the two of you go, it's, whatever the version is of the thing, you're asked to do that all over the place. There are a couple people that are also very, as normal. There's a couple that are really stressed out, like really need a minute. You got to actually talk them down because for whatever reason they think they're next, or they're they're the uncle's brother's cousin's son's daughter's friend of them, and they got a connection. So the two of you are busy clericing your guts out all over the place, just being good. Which brings us to Orthos. On your way to your shop, I'm presuming, as you said, you haven't been there for a couple of days, so so we're all laughing because Orthos typed in the chat. Oh, and it disappeared. Anyway, that's all right. Orthos, you're walking towards your forge, and you've been away a couple of days, and I imagine you probably can't help but thinking like, oh man, we're gonna have to clean out the fire pit. He never does it right. My coworker or whatever it is that also works there with you, they're never quite as good as you are. They're going to be behind. Da, 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 da. And in that fog, you kind of turn a corner into a public area near the theater. And there's a group of people standing around, but there's a huge blood stain in the middle of the street. And it's kind of a negative outline. The body's been taken away, but where it was, there's no blood because they were laying there. So the blood is around them, and then there's this weird sort of human outline in that. There's no police because there's no police in Argos. That's not how this works. There's what appears to be some family members who are standing around showing great signs of grief, weeping and wailing and such, as is appropriate to the time. Somebody's bringing them green clothing to mourn in. But this is clearly the site of a murder. I mean, you don't have a heart attack and all your blood squirts out in the street, right? Somebody got murdered here. But because you were in a rush, this is your first hint that you wouldn't have heard what these other three heard. So how do you respond to coming across the scene of a murder?
I would probably try to talk to someone that's not grieving as much as the parent.
Yep.
So just one of the people standing around.
There's actually one of the other actors. You can tell because they're wearing a sort of a robe, like a dressing gown, and looking sad but not crushed. They seem to be probably the best one for you to talk to. And they look as you walk up. Oh, can I help you? Did you know him? And they point at the space on the ground.
I didn't know him so well, but I can help you.
In what way can you help us?
I can help you find who murdered this person and help you get justice.
Oh, I hadn't really thought that far along yet. It's still so fresh. It just sort of happened just last night, we think. Had you seen them? Had you seen their work?
Not really. I was not much into the theater arts.
And even through their grief, you get an arched eyebrow of judgment. It's that, oh. They don't say it, but it's the, oh, not into the arts. They draw back from you a little bit. Oh, well, I don't think we'll be needing your help then.
Trust me, I can help. If you could perhaps tell me whether their body has already been taken to the tomb.
Their family has it, yes. They'll be preparing, and later today, I suspect they'll have the ceremony.
All right. Well then, thank you. I might see you again sometime.
And as you turn to head towards your shop, you see the front door of the theater open, and a person walks out with a sign and stands it at the bottom of the stairs and then goes back up and closes the doors. But a couple seconds later, they open again, and other people start coming out with dark green cloth and banners and flags, and they start festooning the theater in the green color of mourning. And the sign says, "With heavy hearts, we will reopen tomorrow with a tribute to Phoenix Stream and their body of work. Doors open at dusk. Formal wear and proper decorum are expected."
I take note of it and then I continue on.
Okay. And then you head to, and yeah, it's exactly what you expect when you get to your forge. They're behind. They're doing things wrong. They're almost nobody's ordered coal. It's what happens when you're not there.
I have been gone.
This is why Beaufort yells so much.
You're starting to
Minions.
Orthos,
Minions. Sorry.
Orthos doesn't really raise his voice too
Yep.
much,
Mhm.
because he knows that if he does, all of Argos will hear him.
Yes. Yeah.
I have been gone for less than a week, and this is the state that I find my forge.
And in response to that, you hear a little voice from the back that says, "I told you he wasn't dead." And from where the voice is coming from, you know what's going on. They're literally hiding from you. Your two assistants are literally hiding from you. There is Orthos. Oh my word. There is partially eaten food sitting on the forge. Your hammer is not hung up where it's supposed to be. And is that, oh my God, on the end of your anvil, you little bastards, a bit of rust? They've been basically partying since you were gone.
Of course, I am not dead. Why would you think that?
Oh, somebody said all the Minotaurs were dead.
So that means I've died too?
Well, you're
Are you
kind
so eager
of
to
a
kill me?
Minotaur. No, we like our jobs. Is there any chance you could go away for like a day?
Actually, yes, because at the moment I am very busy with something else, something that is honestly a bit more important than my forge right now, but I will be visiting again soon. And if this place is not absolutely clean and we have not started to fulfill the orders, I will. There is no telling what I will do.
And they're still not coming out from undercover, but in the back you hear one of them try to whisper to the other one, "I never thought that'd work." It's like, I know, I thought he was gonna beat the shit out of us. All right, we'll see you later, boss. We'll absolutely, like tomorrow. Yeah, like tomorrow we'll have it perfect.
And then Orthos leaves to try to find the others.
All right. Yeah. So you head out into the city to go looking. Phoebe, meanwhile, you've heard the stories. You're looking around. You talk to people a little bit. As you look down the street, because you're in Hephaestus's temple, right? Or just outside of Hephaestus's temple, talking to people, right? These guys kind of buggered off into town. So you look sort of to the left and the right, up and down Temple Row, because like there's a whole bunch of temples in a row here, right? And a couple of the ones nearest you, and you see a few further down too. You see signs out in front, and small groups of people are actually lined up to go in. And normally you just walk into a temple, right? But these people are like lined up, and there's these weird like velvet ropes in front of about 3/4 of the temples. Not this one.
What's going on with that? I'm gonna go investigate.
You walk up to the first one. It's a temple to a fairly minor god. And there's a sign outside that says, new fees and tithes imposed. And there's basically like a price list. You now have to pay to go into this temple. You have to pay for a blessing. You have to pay for a monthly membership. There's a subscription. It's like the most. It's like
No, they love capitalism.
a really
Planet Fitness has come to Argos.
yeah. I'm fighting not to use the iRacing thing because nobody iRaces, but it's the most predatory price model out there, right? You have to pay for stuff and then you have to pay for the right to use the stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're seeing here. You have to pay a monthly fee to pay a daily fee to pay for a blessing. And you kind of look across the street and there's another sign that's very similar, like almost even the exact same numbers, but in a slightly different order. And you're looking down the street and most of the temples are now charging fees where none of them did yesterday. None.
I'd like to. I'm gonna go full Karen mode,
Yep.
and I'm gonna try and find someone in charge to talk to.
Yep. So yes, you storm into the temple.
Yeah.
Okay. As you get to the rope, a very large, heavily built priest sort of steps in front of you and holds out a huge, well-fed hand and says to you, 2 gold pieces to enter today. And that's a lot. That's like more than what most people make in a week.
Yeah. I'm sorry. She's gonna be like, oh, why do I have to be the one to do this? Fight for what's right. Yes. Good. Good. Moral. Good. No.
But it's our new policy.
Says who?
Says the high priest of the church
Who is?
in his office.
Who I'd like to talk to now. Thank you.
2 gold pieces to enter the church, please.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I really, really don't think so. I really don't think so.
And you cast suggestion at level 2. All right. So what is your suggestion?
My suggestion is let everyone in without paying.
These are not the gold pieces you were looking for.
All right. He gets a save. What is your DC?
16.
16 now? 13. Okay. It's weird. There's resistance to your magic. But then when he caves, it's like he caves all at once. And it's that he kind of shakes his head. Well, yes, of course, we don't charge to come into temples. I don't. Who was that fellow last night? And he's walking past you down the stairs, and he grabs the sign, and it's under like it's got a big weighted base, right? He kind of lifts up the sign and starts walking back up the stairs. He's taking the sign down. He brings it inside and turns it to face the wall and shoves it up against the wall, and he says, "As you were," and he's.
Do you mind if I grab that sign really quick?
Certainly.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just gonna take the sign outside, and then I'm gonna cast Firebolt on it.
And you blam, you blow up the sign. Absolutely.
And then I'm gonna go find the priest.
Okay.
Phoebe is out for blood a
yes.
little bit.
As you come back in, the mood has changed because the fellow you cast a spell on is all about letting into people. But now you can see all the higher ups, all the people with the fancy outfits, are coming out of the back, going, no, you'll all have to pay. And clearly the head priest, you can tell their length of beard and fancy of hat. They have the longest beard and the fanciest hat, so they must be the high priest. Starts walking towards you and points at you across the width of the church and says, "You, troublemaker, what is your desire today? What do you come crashing into my church for?"
My name is Phoebe of the Temple of Delphi, and I'm here to talk about this atrocious price gouging that you've got going on here?
Well, we need to offset our costs. We simply weren't doing enough before. We were barely breaking even.
Okay, wait. You just hold that thought right now. And then I'm gonna do a little telepathy to Xenon.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, how do temples work?
Kevin, you
Yes.
telepathically,
Yeah.
you get, how do temples work?
They
And imagine
work.
as Kevin saying it,
Yeah.
Xenon is speaking.
Yes. The vast majority of them, all the ones that you know here, work on donations. They basically pass the collection tray, right? And it's most people walk in and drop a couple coppers into the bin on the way in, right? It's like the museums where it says pay what you want. It's like pay what you want video games, but because people are believers, they pay. But
Okay.
that's always been enough, even for the more the fancy ecclesiastical outfits. Like that shit ain't cheap, right? But even the fanciest churches and temples have managed up until now to do quite well for themselves just on donations.
Okay. So she's gonna be like, sorry, just have to think really hard there for a second. Where are all these extra costs coming from?
It's not so much extra costs as it is building up a buffer against future emergencies.
Like what?
Oh, perhaps the temple burns down in a horrible fire. You look around, it's a stone temple.
The stone temple?
Yes, all it needs now is a pilot. Never mind. Stone Temple pilots. Private joke. Never mind. But he's clearly uncomfortable, and he finally says to you, well, if Brother Brutus were still here, he'd explain it to you much better. He explained it to us last night, and it just made perfect sense.
So it was Brother Brutus's ideas, not yours.
Yes, he's come to visit us and he names a faraway city.
Okay.
This is what the temple there is doing, and they're doing quite well for themselves. As I understand it, their head priest has a mansion of his own, and
He has a mansion, you say?
and he's sort of like, yeah, that's ding 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Where is this mansion?
Apparently it's very near the top of the hill.
Okay.
And I mean, Greek culture is like it's the higher up the, it's like everywhere, right? The higher up the hill you are, the fancier you are, right? Everybody wants the mansion right at the top.
I feel like information received.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like information received. She's gonna go up to him and she's gonna go like hand to his chest, pointing really hard.
Yeah.
If you ever start price gouging like this again, I have a 9-foot tall minotaur and a couple other priests who are ready to come in here and start running this place for you, as I'm going to try and intimidate him.
Okay, give me an intimidation roll.
Just a little bit.
Can I cast guidance through our telepathic?
I will give that
Our
to
brains
you.
are
Yes.
touching.
Yep, I'll give that. Yep, I'm going to give that. Our brains
Okay,
are touching.
+4
That's this.
charisma.
That might be the nastiest thing I've
23.
ever heard.
Add
Roll
the
a
guidance
d4.
anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Roll a d4.
Yeah.
Because I gave it to you.
Yeah. One again.
So 24.
24.
Your guidance is rolling ones today. Yeah.
She is an oracle.
Yep.
Or she was training to be one, which means that she's got all of the like force and authority of every single one of the gods.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just basically like, it's like you're the manager, but guess who you're talking to? You have no idea who I am.
I am the god of all Karens.
Any idea who you're speaking to?
As an oracle of Delphi.
Yes, you said that. Yeah, you said that to him. So yeah.
You should know how to act, and you should know that this is no way to treat your worshippers or your god. I'm telling you on behalf of the temple to cease this out, or there will be consequences.
And he's backing up. There's a line of sweat coming out of his very nice hat and dripping down onto his very nice vestments. He's terrified of you. Said like Delphic Oracle. The Delphic Oracles bring down cultures, right? They end careers, they end lives. They are
Mm.
stupend. Like Bison said, they represent all the gods. It's one of the few places in this culture where all the gods are together. And with that weight of authority, you watch him back off, and he looks at the big fellow that was guarding the door before. He says, "Let them all in and destroy that sign." And the guy just kind of looks at him and shakes his head and points at the sign, like, "Way ahead of you, boss." At that point, another minion, you can tell because he's got the same color robes, but they're really cheap, comes running in from outside and looks not at the head priest, because that would be, that's not his position, but he looks at sort of one of the junior priests and says, "Sir, they're all doing it. All the temples are doing it. I thought it was supposed to be just us. How are we going to get rich if..." And there's as one of the mid-range guys literally punches him to get him to shut up.
Ooh.
Because he said it out loud, right? How are we going to get rich if everybody's collecting? Bang!
Sprinting from across the
Yeah,
temple.
I'm gonna look at the high priest, and I'm just gonna stare daggers into
Yeah.
his eyes, just knowing that he understands now.
Oh yeah, yeah. And as you look around,
and then I'm gonna say, "You tell this to all the other temples on this street that I
Mhm.
will come for them. This is my prophecy for you."
Okay. All
Like
right.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna telepathically go to Xenon, and I'm like, "Why do you have to go on a walk? I didn't want to do that."
So, you walk outside, and
I mean, that would be important for Xenon and Bo to know.
yeah.
Yes, I am also relaying information.
So yeah, as you, I just want to, we're going to leave you in just a second, but I got this image of you walking out of the temple and down the stairs, and as you're doing so in a very dignified and oracle-ish manner, the minions start pouring out behind you, and they just come running down the stairs past you, and they start running to all the other temples that have got signs up. And they're carrying little scrolls, obviously, that have been quickly written up. But yeah, the message is being passed to the other temples as you speak.
Biblical greed.
That's an interesting way to deal with that.
But she
Okay.
did it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I went
Tell your
Karen mode,
boss.
and it worked.
Yeah.
That was so good.
So, with that, we will cut
I'll
back
tell
to
your boss.
Yeah, basically. So we're going to cut back to Xenon and Bofidis. You guys are walking around the main area of the city. Yeah, it's here. It means I got to mess up my schedule, but I have to bring a tomorrow thing into today because the game just got changed. So, the two of you are walking around, helping people and hearing about this horrible murder that happened, and let's get. What are your passive perceptions? Because you're not actively looking. So, whoever's got the highest passive perception is going to see this. It's probably Xenon.
17.
17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 16.
16. Okay. Well, that's high enough. You both notice it.
Or 13, sorry.
You start noticing business owners coming out of their shops with like a slate and chalk, basically, and they're writing on these chalkboards and leaning them up outside of their businesses. And as you look at one, it's the one closest to you says entry fee 1 copper piece.
So. And like he's looking to Bo.
Even I can smell the cinnamon.
The churches are charging entry. And now shops, both of which already bring in money.
And he hears us like, the temples are charging to enter.
I think Phoebe's sort of. I forgot to do voice.
Volcanic steam venting
Yeah.
from Bofides's head. Yeah, sorry for cutting you off, but yeah.
It seems like Phoebe may have dealt with it, but we'll see when we get back. I know she's dealt with one for sure.
Bofides very pointedly stands at the very boundary of someone's shop,
Yep.
casts thaumaturgy,
Yep.
and
It-
uses the booming voice.
It's tea. It's a tea shop. Phoebe's a little shit. Yeah.
What is the meaning of this?
The owner of the shop looks at you from behind his counter and says, "Hey, a guy's got to make a living."
You sell tea.
Yeah, and it's really expensive. Comes from far away. My costs are going up every day.
Roll for bullshit.
Yeah, give me an insight
Costs-
check. Yeah.
The cost should be coming from payment of your goods.
Okay, that is a 24.
20. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Bofides has a bullshit detector. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of his.
Okay. And Xenon, what was it you just said? Oh, you're supposed to make profits from from selling your stuff. Yeah. Okay.
I for
Yeah.
a moment I forgot. What
That's okay. That's okay because by asking it, that's how I remembered. So, he kind of looks at you and he says, "Yes, but there are so many people who just come in and just want to look." And he says that like they could like the same way he'd say they come into my shop and poop on the floor, right? He hates the looky loos.
Don't. I feel like a good amount of your
Both of these-
sales.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say Bofides kind of like starts like falling into a sermon on hubris
Yep.
and
Yeah.
how mindless greed and thinking that you're better than your fellow man just because you sell a service that you would have nothing of if
Mhm.
you did not then owe those fellow men for
Yep.
their work.
Okay. You launch into the speech. Xenon, what are you? I'm going to get to your 24 insight in a second, but I want to find out what Xenon's doing precisely after that question.
Given that businesses get business most of the time by people figuring out what they're about and what they have, you're gonna lose business, buddy.
And he turns to you like he's going to smirk. And then both of these, you see when he turns his face sideways, you catch the micro expression. To use the vernacular, he doesn't smell like cinnamon. You realize in a moment, both of these, he hasn't been affected by greed. He's just greedy. And he's seen an opportunity to make money. This is the problem, you realize, because you got a 24 insight.
Mhm.
This is going to be the problem with greed, is that humans, a lot of them, are very greedy. They don't need greed telling them what to do. They've taken greed has clearly affected the temples, but these business people have taken that as inspiration to start charging their own fees and predatory pricing techniques. So it's not, he's not been programmed by a god. This is just a greedy prick.
Yeah. And at the end of your life, when your soul is being weighed and you are condemned to the pits of Tartarus, he just goes into what his particular hell is going to feel like.
Yeah.
And because of his greed.
Yeah.
And, it's like just because, other people are doing it for whatever reason, hubris affects us all.
Yeah. Give me intimidation, you think? Is that what he's trying to do?
I would say
persuasion.
I want to say religion.
Okay.
Because of just the nature of his
Sure. Yeah.
of the rant. That is still a 13.
13. Okay. You wind it down, and right at the point where you're used to your minions sort of fleeing to go and do things, he completely fails to do so. He sits back in his chair, he crosses his arms, and he says, "This ain't your temple, priest."
Today is not a day for sales. And he walks out, flips the sign to closed.
And
Yeah, Xenon, yep.
as they leave, Xenon grabs the sign saying there's a charge for coming in, and
Yep.
he's gonna break it.
Okay. I mean, it's slate. It's easy. You're not going to take a roll. You just, and it snaps. The reaction from up and down the street is kind of different. You see,
Oh crap! Hold on, I had advantage on that because of the booming voice.
oh, okay.
14.
14 still, yeah. Good. I like the
rolled
way this
one better.
I like the way this worked out with the fail better. You guys look up and down the street. You see a number of reactions. A couple people are trying to be badasses about it, and they're standing by the signs like I stand by this decision. You see one lady who sells fresh vegetables. So she sees you looking, and she kind of throws her skirt over the sign so you can't see it. You can see the sign under her skirt. She's just sort of standing there. Doo, 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 doo. A couple people are doing like laying the signs
Locks eyes
down.
with
Yeah.
her.
And she reaches down without taking her dress off of the sign because it's a slate sign with chalk. And she reaches down and does that using her dress to erase it before she lifts the dress up and it's just a slate. And she kind of looks at you and goes,
He
both
gives
of
the
these-
look of, "I'll be back."
"Yeah,
Actually, both of these goes over there and makes a point of buying her wares and saying Demeter will, bless you for this.
okay." Realizing the situation, she doesn't even try to haggle. She just sells it to you for a great price and sends you on your way.
And Bo pays her fairly.
Mm-hmm. But as you're looking around, as you're leaving, you realize that the two of you, even the four of you, don't stand a chance. This is spreading like greedy wildfire throughout the city. These signs, these fees, these tides, there's 1,000 phrases for why they're taking 1 or 2 coppers at a time for everything in the city. And it's like trying to hear one conversation in a stadium full of people yelling. You can't smell the cinnamon, for lack of a better phrase. It's really hard to figure out, other than the temples, it's hard to figure out if greed has had anything to do with this or whether it's just people. So with that, I'm going to have, at this point, Orthos walks up to you guys. He's found you because he was looking for you. Phoebe, were you going to head in that direction as well?
Yeah.
Just so we can bring the party back together? All right. So the four of you are now standing sort of on that boundary between the temple district and the business district, just down the hill from the fancy people's houses and up the hill from the ocean. Your city is turning into a money-hungry beast all around you. There's madness still walking the streets somewhere. What do you do?
If we do not stop at least one of these very soon, then violence is sure to follow. And our city will be in no place to protect itself.
I think greed is our biggest issue right now.
Greed might be the easiest one to take care of. There's a mansion on top of the hill where he lives, and that feels a lot easier than finding someone running around.
I agree. Greed. We cannot let greed be. Neither can we madness, but greed is just far too big of a problem.
We'll take people thinking that
easier
they're
to
ducks.
identify.
Very true. I'll take people pretending to be ducks than scare charges.
Yeah.
And
so,
we
so
also
far,
need to
Madness
consider
hasn't killed
that-
anybody. So yeah.
Yeah, I was also going to say that we also need to consider that greed is affecting those he does not speak to. We
Yes.
encountered a rather avaricious fellow in the market, and he was not so easily swayed. As Hope would say, we did not smell cinnamon there. And he just sort of looks down to the Pethos. You have been awfully quiet.
I've been sleeping. You guys work so hard. It's so hard keeping up to you guys. And you look down. She's got a little one of those little caps on, with the the pointy cap that falls over with the little pom pom on it. And she's got like a dressing gown that comes up to here with the little frilly, like the Elizabethan neckline. And she looks tired. Her eyes are all droopy. She says, it's so hard keeping up with you guys. And this place is a mess. And she points down between her, like underneath herself into the Pethos. She said, whew, it's a lot of work. But
We
things are going to
appreciate the
get
effort you put in.
better. And as she yells, things are going to get better, the little hat stands up.
What of the murder of those?
True. So I do not know how much you guys have learned of the murder. The victim was a prolific actor, Phoenix. As for who his murderer was, I do not know. Neither do I know their motives. But thanks to the gift Hope gave me yesterday, I think it's not going to be too hard to find out. As long as we can reach Phoenix, that is.
Hope pops back up out of the Pethos and says, that's why I'm tired. All those friggin' gifts. You guys are awesome. Now shush, I'm sleeping. And back inside the Pethos.
You take your beauty rest.
She pops back out and looks at you kind of a little bit nasty. Are you saying I need beauty rest? No, wait, I'm nice. Sorry. And then pops back to, I'm just tired. And pops back, and maybe hungry. And then pops back.
Oh no, she's hangry. Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, well.
But thank you for the not so subtle reminder that I had not given Hope one fucking line so far today. So
Okay, I don't even know who has hope.
I think it's Xenon still.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Should we head up the hill?
It's like it is closest, but if we do not capitalize on Orthos's newfound abilities, we will not have the time. Because you can only do it. Does it only work with someone who's been recently dead?
No, it's speak with dead is they can be long dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was within. That's a different spell.
Yeah.
That's for preventing
Yeah.
someone from dying.
All right. So, as you put your plan together, Bophides and Xenon, you notice there's an acolyte of Apollo kind of hanging around. And acolytes of Apollo are easy to pick out because they're just so fucking pretty. Like they're just handsome beyond words, right? And they when they stand there, the sun shines on them suggestively. Like they're like the statues, right? Every one of them looks like that.
Xenon stares just a bit too long.
Yeah. There's a little voice in your head says Apollo, not Dionysus. This one won't do anything.
Just
And
they're
then-
just pretty.
Yeah.
But would just notice Xenon kind of just goes,
But they're clearly waiting to approach you.
Can we help you, Shining One?
And he steps forward and does a little, he's below you, so he's the acolyte bow to both of you because you're both clearly far more powerful than he is. And he says, I'm not even sure I should be telling you guys this, but some of the money that we collected today is being taken tonight by one of our other acolytes to a secret place. It just doesn't seem right. we should be offering the services of Apollo, oh, and all the other gods for free, right?
Yes.
It's like, other than covering costs for incense and
But the donations did all that.
Exactly.
exactly.
And if we ever needed donations, we just sort of went and stood out in the sun for a while and people gave us money. Apollo, god of sun. Yeah, this is all it
Sorry,
took. Right?
in
They just
my
stand
brain,
outside looking pretty.
yeah,
Until
just
people
standing
give
there
them
looking
money.
pretty as
Yeah.
like bored housewives are just like,
Yeah.
yeah. Fine.
Yeah. Funny how all the donations are going into cod pieces. No, that's the wrong timeline, but never mind. Yeah. There's not a lot going on. I'm going to be totally stereotypical with Apollo's minions. Really nice to look at. Not much going on in the brain department. I'm just going to play that stereotype out because why not? They're not real. I'm allowed to. So yeah, but they're we shouldn't be taking money, and even if we are, why is some of it not going to the church?
Human greed, my boy. Human greed.
Tell us of this. Do you know of where he is going, or what this particular acolyte looks like?
And they blush, climbs all the way up underneath their hairline, like they're completely blushing out on you. I overheard the high priest speaking to one of the underlings. I should have left. I know I'm not supposed to listen in, but I heard him say, "Come here 2 hours after dusk, and I will give you the package for brother Miel," which is not the same name that Phoebe heard. Phoebe, you're here, so you would hear this. This is brother Miel. But then he describes brother Miel, and I'm going to presume that you got a description earlier of brother Brutus. It's exactly the same person. Exactly the same description. The weird part is the timing. Brother Miel, Brother Brutus arrived in at least 2 temples in different parts of the city at exactly the same time and had the same conversation with the high priest, resulting in fees being charged the next morning. And then he adds, "But then by this morning he was gone, so we couldn't give it to Brother Miel directly. And I guess there was a message because we're supposed to deliver it tonight, but shouldn't that go into our coffers?" And he looks again at the 2 priests that are here.
You were there, young acolyte, because Apollo willed it. This is an insult to him. This is an insult to Olympus, and Brother Miel will meet the wrath of the gods.
Oh, and it's like he's suddenly he goes from blushing because he was listening in on a conversation he shouldn't have, to blanching. He realizes that he is potentially in a lot of trouble. Right? If they catch me, I'll just disappear.
Continue to perform your duties to Apollo.
If any
Or-
trouble comes over you, head to the Temple of Hephaestus. They'll protect you.
Tell them Bophades sent you. They will be too scared to react.
And he looks at you, and he particularly looks down at your hands and sees like the calluses and the working, the big fingers from working all the time, and looks down at his own very dainty hands with very, he's not got nail polish on because there isn't any, but he's like they've been buffed with pumice. He's shaved legs, the whole bit. He is as pretty as you are, rough around the edges. And he says, "I've never been in the Temple of Hephaestus. You guys have fires and stuff, right?"
Of course.
"We're not allowed fire. Only sunlight, because Apollo, right?"
Apollo and Hephaestus. They are, I don't fully remember the relation.
Yeah.
I
They're
know
brothers.
that they're
Yeah.
related somehow, but it's like and Hephaestus granted Helios fire, and Helios is fire. Blah blah blah, and just he basically connects
Yeah.
the dots that saying it's like fire's okay. Yours comes from the sun, ours comes from the forge. That's
Right.
all the
Okay.
year is different.
Okay. And he's
Fire is
hanging on
fire.
he's hanging on every word. He has you can tell he doesn't know his own creed very well. Like he's new, right? But he is utterly shocked by the fact that some of the money. His only concern is that some of the money isn't going to the church. Like you can see it in his eyes. He hasn't even put it together that somebody's stealing it. That there's a scam going on here.
Mhm.
It's just the only thing that's concerned
Wild
him.
innocence.
Yeah, exactly. He just cannot figure out why some of it isn't staying at the temple.
Seeing how nervous he is, Xenon's just gonna like lightly touch his shoulder and cast guidance in case he needs it to, get him out of getting caught.
Okay, yeah, I
Or
got you.
like anxiously blabbing.
So you give him the touch and he kind of shivers when you cast a spell. Oh, wow. I feel kind of, and I'm stealing this line right from one of my favorite movies of all time. He looks at you and he says, I feel kind of invincible. Big Trouble in Little China. Big Trouble in Little China going down in the elevator after they take the magic potion.
I will say you're not, but it's good that you're feeling better.
Okay,
Just don't do anything too crazy.
no, I'm
Gods
gonna
are with you.
I'm gonna go back to work like he said, and he points at both of these. And yeah, there's a slightly his breathing is slowed down. You can hear his heart isn't pounding as much as it was. He was terrified to come to you, but he saw priests and priests are good, so he came to you, right? He says, "Okay, I'm gonna go back to work now." And he turns around, takes about 10 steps, and steps up on the corner of a little pool, like a little reflective pool, and poses. And that's him at work.
Anyways,
It's just a billboard.
Yeah, yeah,
A billboard for the Temple of Apollo.
yes.
so do we want to ambush this deal later?
Yeah, we should probably use it to find exactly where this Miel or Brutus or whatever his name is lives.
Read. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if I'm remembering correctly, that the priest that Phoebe
Unless they're
browbeat
twins.
was he said that their other priest in that other temple from the far off city lived up near the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because here's how I work. Because Rose said that Phoebe said that Greed it lives in a mansion on top of the hill here. I wrote it down. Greed now lives in a mansion on the top of the hill here. Rather than be misunderstood, I'm just going to re-understand it. So,
My bad.
so yeah, one of the. I'm going to keep it. You can't just charge it because it's one of the mansions on top of the hill. You can't just go. It's that one and go. So, but you
knock on every door.
yeah, you're going to have to still find out which one it is and some other stuff, probably involving this ambush that you've just set up. But yeah, just to
Maybe
give you
not ambush,
just to
but
give you a view
definitely
behind the
sneaky
screen.
ambush.
Yes.
Okay, well, why don't we go crash a funeral home?
Yes. I think
Okay.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, to speak to
Yep.
Phoenix Dead guy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Then nobody got that yet, eh? Nobody in either group. The actor's name.
Phoenix.
We did Phoenix.
No, I
No.
totally
Phoenix
got it.
something.
I totally got it.
The joke. What? Go ahead. Tell me
River
my.
Phoenix.
Oh.
Yes, it's River Phoenix. It's Phoenix Stream. Yeah.
Oh.
River
yeah.
Phoenix. So yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Relatively famous
I'll tell you when
actor.
you're older.
Yeah. Relatively
He
famous
passed away
actor.
in the
He.
90s.
Yeah. It was. In that case, it was. I think I can say it. Self-inflicted.
Yeah,
But
he was Keanu Reeves' like best friend.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was that kind of actor in person. So yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix's brother.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Anyway, I just realized their names are Walk in a Stream.
Well, they were part of a cult when they were like
their little
younger.
brother,
Their
their little
parents
brother
were in the
Puddles.
Church of God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Little brother Puddles.
before we get to that, so your plan is to head up to the back to the mausoleum area
Yeah, to
Yeah.
where they would be burying this guy. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. We'll do the walk up. You walk through the city of Argos, a city that most of you have known for quite some time, Phoebe notwithstanding. Um, it's different. People are nervous. People are tense. People, they look at you and they watch, and you can see them judging you and each other. The trust is gone. That sort of happy Argosian trust where everybody just knew everybody and everything was cool is gone, or at least it's going. People are locking their doors. People are watching their kids playing outside instead of just booting them out in the street and leaving them there. People are standing in front of their stores to prevent theft. There's more and more of these signs going up, and fees and tithes and benefit schedules and all that stuff.
So many newsletters.
So, oh yeah, yeah, and explanations for fees and people arguing about fees, and it's getting really sort of like that, right? And everybody in Argos used to be sort of, I mean, it wasn't best friends, but everybody got along, and now they're simply not. They don't trust each other. And as you make your way through the city and out up the slight first part of the hill before you get to the cemetery, you can see the ceremony must be just about underway because there's hundreds of people up here. You can see the actors brightly dressed, even though it's a funeral. And yes, they're wearing green, but it's like lime green with a big fascinator hat and full gowns, and the whole shtick. Everybody is as dressed as they can be. Like, you can see the actors. And then there's another group that are clearly, they're kind of talking to them, but not of them. They're the business people. So those are people that run the theater. So the producers and the directors and the lighting people and the ticket sellers and all of those people. And then there's the general population. By far the largest group. Probably 3/4 of these people are the general pop. And they have not had to pay for professional mourners because the wailing and gnashing of teeth is apparently heartfelt and real. This person, as much as you probably weren't theater people, these people were. And this is their star. This is the most famous actor in all of Argos. And he's gone. And as you approach that group, one of the people, not the actors, but one of the, one of the actors steps forward towards you. An older person, probably sort of the best supporting actor role kind of person, right? Plays somebody's dad. He never gets to play the lead, but always gets to play the supporting role. And they step up towards you, and they're kind of like hands not clenched, but held respectfully, and shoulders forward and head down a little bit as they approach you. Did you know him?
Yes.
I tried to watch one of his shows recently, but the tickets were sold out before I was even up. And I get up before the dawn.
Oh yes. We have middle of the night ticket sales whenever there's a show.
I have learned.
I don't imagine we're going to need to do that anymore. Did
He's
you?
well on his way to Elysium, I'm sure.
Oh yes. Paved with silk paving stones, as it were. And you look over, and the winding sheet is like beautiful glossy silk, right? Everything about this is just the poshest burial you've ever seen. But you can see, if you look real hard, that no matter how much work they did, there's a tiny bit of blood still seeping through that winding sheet. And you remember that he was stabbed dozens of times.
It's like, but in all of my time here, I can only think of how popular he was. Who would do such a thing to him?
Oh,
He was also robbed, remember?
That might
Oh.
just be a side effect. Agreed.
About
Yeah.
that, actually, we did discover, as far as we were able to tell, that is, I don't know what you mean by the result of greed, but yes, he was robbed after he was killed. We thought it might be important that whoever killed him didn't rob him. He was, he wore a lot of, and he kind of points to rings, and he's got a couple like big fancy rings on, but Phoenix was rather flashy.
But he was not hated.
No, not at all. And in fact, until last night, he'd never done anything to upset anyone.
What do you mean until last night?
Somebody was listening. He turns to you, Orthos, and says, "We had a the new show was to start was supposed to start tomorrow, which it's been pushed back because of the memorial, but at the pre-party, the pre-release party, the last dress rehearsal last night, he was heard to say that he thought this new show was and he kind of looks around to make sure none of the box office people are listening. He says, leans in, he says, poorly written and rather political in nature, I believe was what he actually said.
Hmm.
That
Yes.
will put a target on a man such as him.
How loudly did he voice his opinions?
Let's just say he had enjoyed Bacchus's company quite enough.
Mm.
God of drunks, basically. God of partying. So yeah,
Dionysus.
he got sauced and blurted something about the show being poorly written and political.
What kind of
Dionysus's
political?
truth is often blunt and ill-conceived.
He nods to both of these and Orthos and then looks at Phoebe and says, well, it's called Vive la Revolution.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
From Gaul?
I
I didn't know we were playing Gaulish plays. Sorry. For those watching at home, that's the Roman province of what is now France.
Yes, yeah. And Vive la Revolution is the French Revolution. But yes, so because Phoebe did mention it, he says, it's well, it's a bit ham-fisted to be obvious, and he quickly looks around to see if the writers and whatnot heard him before he leans in and does the opposite of thaumaturgy. He brings his volume down and sort of whispers to you. And he says, it's about how the current governing body is not acting in accordance with what the and he looks at the top of the hill, the folks in the mansions would like.
Okay, so I thought it was liberal, and now it's
Oh, the exact opposite, yeah. Absolutely. Nothing to do with real world situations whatsoever. Neither one of these, I'll say this, neither one of these, greed or violence, is specifically inspired by current political events. And I am a terrible liar. So, yes. So it looks for all the world like the leading actor of this upcoming political play was killed for saying that it was political in nature. And one more thing, this guy leans in and most quietly of all, as if this is the worst part of it, so quiet that only Phoebe can hear, he says, oh, and it is very poorly written.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fucking actors.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I think Orthos would now finally ask if there was any way we could see Phoenix in private. So ideally
ask
no
the
one else
family.
around.
We would have to ask the family.
I don't think the family would
Yes.
allow that. However, he will be on display tomorrow night at the theater.
Oh, yeah, so the formal event.
Yes, there is tomorrow night at the theater. There is a requiem, so to speak. They're going to uh, they're going to redo some of his favorite parts, but he's dead, and there's no video in this world. So how are they going to do that? But never mind, I got it figured out. But yes, tomorrow
Sorry,
night
they
is
just keep the body on display and
the
then everyone
memorial.
looks to him
There's the
and they go back.
the memoriam tomorrow night at the theater. That will allow you to at least see the body, and for the purposes of this, they're unwrapped, so they'll be cleaned up so that the stab wounds will be covered as much
In
as
state.
possible, but it will be essentially lying in state at the event.
Gosh, it's
Gentle
so great that we have a
repose is
character
second
with
level
mind
spell.
control.
Well, I mean, gentle repose is only a second level cleric spell.
Jesus,
Somebody knows it.
I just realized that Orthos can have a chat with them in the middle of the wake now. Never mind. Yeah. I told you to level
That's why I
up.
was
That's on me. So,
Hey,
yeah.
guys, I don't know. This
I'm gonna make you do it in public. You can do it, but I'm gonna make you do it in public.
the gods are telling me that for narrative purposes, we should go to this formal event. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. The sound of Hephaestus' Forge sounds an awful lot like we're gonna have to split the party
So,
because the handoff is also happening tomorrow night.
I thought it was
no,
happening
that's tonight.
tonight.
Well,
Oh,
night
it's
tonight.
yeah, yes, good scheduling on the part of the GM. Tonight is the handoff. Tomorrow night is the event.
Yes. So tonight we ambush this thing. Oh, my fire alarm's going off again.
Okay.
We ambush the
Gross.
thing, and then we get money for good clothes. It immediately turned off again.
Okay.
And then
Damn,
we.
Zoom is good at noise suppression.
didn't
Wow.
hear
I heard it a little.
Okay. But so I'm going to jump in here because as the four of you standing here in the middle of the cemetery having the conversation about which one of the evils you want to go after next and in what order. The sun shining behind you, the city below you stressed to the eyeballs. The four of you wondering what in the gods' names you're going to do about all of this.
And how's Halvas doing?
Oh, yes. And actually, yes.
Stoned as hell.
And yeah, all I will say is, as you think that, you get sort of this sound in the back of your head that you would not recognize at all, but it's screaming guitars, just like 60s guitar solos. All
What
the
is this
distortion
beautiful
and
noise?
Halvas
Uh,
probably sent a message using the sending stones as well, just like
Yeah.
something completely random.
I can see sound.
I can taste the colors, man.
But with that,
I feel the need to try psychedelics.
yeah. But with that, we will leave the four of you standing in the cemetery in the middle of an afternoon. This evening you have a plan to catch a greedy bastard in the process, and tomorrow your plan is to go and find out how in the hell violence has anything to do with a stage play. But until then, I want to thank all my players today, because this was one of those information gathering days, so sometimes they're not as exciting as a fight day, but I appreciate it because we're setting that up for the fighty fights later on in the week.
We're here for the drama, bro.
Yes. So, plus, we can't let you guys fight on the first day we leveled you up. That would be fair. I'm not going to do that. So, thank you to all my players for holding off for yet another week before casting your new spells and burning up your new things and using your new abilities and your new items. Thank you for your patience. Spock, thank you for Orthos. The scene in his with your two minions cracked me up because I felt like them. I worked in the kitchen years ago, and boss said he was gone for the night. He showed up at like 10 o'clock, and we didn't close till midnight, and we had done fuck all. The place was a war zone, so yeah, it's like I wish I could have gone and hid behind the stoves and just had a long distance conversation with him. I got fired instead, but never mind. But yes, thank you for Orthos's character. Similarly, both of these. Bison, it is so fun watching you try to play a hard ass because you are just not naturally constituted to play hard asses.
I'm a fucking teddy bear.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I
So,
try
yeah,
to channel my dad as
both-
much as I can, but it just doesn't work.
both of the but the thing is, it's really funny because if they're really minions, you can do it. Like you can yell at your own minions, right, and
Mhm.
tell them that they're
Mhm.
awful and tell them to sweep stairs that are already clean. But somehow, at some point, no matter where that conversation goes, Bofidis gets to the end of it and goes, "But respectfully." He's just he just softens the blow at the end of every time, and I love it. It's so much fun watching you try to be a
That's
hard
my
ass.
Canadian bleeding through.
Yeah, for
That,
sure.
that really is.
Yeah.
That's my core character trait. Is
oh,
I'm
wow.
Canadian and I can't help it.
This game has 4 Canadians in it.
Yeah.
And
How's it
they
going, eh?
I'll just say Central European because I don't want to dox anybody. But yeah. So speaking of Canadians, and before I forget, Ruth, thank you for coming today. I know it was not an easy day to get here, so I appreciate the effort that you put in to get here for us. And I'm hoping that you can go and get a nice rest now and finish your recovery that we're finished. So thank you for bringing Xenon. The Xenon in my head has got a title now. They are Xenon the Quizzical because they've been walking around this whole time going, what, what? And I love it. It's just they're doing the right thing, but they're not quite sure what's going on yet. And you're also a great foil for Hope, because Hope is so bouncy, and you're sort of more pragmatic. So it's a really nice mix. So thank you for that.
Xena actually like being a dick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I
And-
wasn't expecting his look to be so commanding, but he
Yeah,
was
oh,
excited.
Oh yeah, he was mad as hell. You're messing. You're trying to turn a profit off of religion. Yeah, this was back in the days when that wasn't acceptable. But we finish off with Rose. Phoebe still continues to fascinate me. They are this combination of afraid and tremendously skilled. Like when you do stuff, it works. Perfect example was today. Like you shut down the entire strip. You shut down almost all the temples. There's a couple of them. When you go back, there's going to be a couple that are still charging fees, but you shut down the vast majority of them in one threatening, bellowing conversation, which is not what you normally expect from a sorcerer. So that was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. So thank you all for making this game really unique. This is why I wanted to play this game with 2 groups of people, because the other group is every bit as creative, but in a completely different way. And they are going a completely different way with all of this adventure. So thank you all for coming and playing with me in the middle of the afternoon, or late in the evening in one case. But I appreciate it. Thank you to all the people in chat. I know it's the middle of the afternoon in a lot of the places where people are watching right now. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you're watching the VOD, thank you. That's where we get most of our views. Wave, because you can't do anything else on VOD. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can do other stuff there. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. Buttons and bells, you know how it works. Do the things. Push the buttons if you care. Leave a comment, though. That would really make a big difference. Apparently, the algorithm likes them. So that's all the technical stuff and all the personal thank yous. Now
Thank
for
you, Kevin.
Oh, you snuck it in. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
This game is so fun.
Oh, thank you.
You never leave us bored.
Oh, that's the
There's
ultimate compliment.
always something to do. Thank you.
The side quest missions. Always one more than you got time to deal with.
Yeah.
But with that, the important part is left. Ain't got nobody in this world to support you but your friends. So sometimes your friends aren't around and you need some support anyway. So that's when I ask that if you have the spoons, please be nice to yourself, because that's important. But then, if you got even 1 spoon left, please, until the next time we see you, be nice to each other. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.